Everybody, and welcome to Paper Crafting with Tammi. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. It is awesome to see you here. I have a great project for us today that we're going to start on in just a minute. If you haven't done it yet, take a minute and hit that big red subscribe button so you see what else I've got for you next time, and let's get started. So I'm going to flip through the sentiments real quick. I do know, because I'm using it for Mother's Day memories, some of these are not quite what I have in mind, but I did find a couple that I think would work. So the main squeeze, it's funny, I do this every time I get a kit. I go through and I go try to decide what I would maybe use on a layout versus what I would use on a card. So this one, best friends are the people you can do anything and nothing with and still have the best time. Let's see, ice cold lemonade. I could just squeeze you. That's cute. Have a zest for life. This time to relax, I'm going to keep it off to the side because I may use that one. This You Are My Sunshine, super cute. Oh my goodness. I'm going to keep this off to the side too, just in case I need something for journaling. So what I really had in mind was a little bit with this banner. There was one more that was part of this and it said today. I actually used that in a layout yesterday. I just kind of swiped it out of the kit for something else I was working on. So I'm going to keep that to the side. And then this Hello Sunshine just really fit for me, the feel of these pictures and all of these grins. It was just a really happy day. So I think I'm going to go with those ones for now, and I might have to add some in later, we'll see. But this is the sketch that we're going to be kind of playing with tonight. And I'm going to show you guys one of my kind of lazy tricks for using a scallop and or using cedar trails, but doing it in a way that takes your cutting down a little bit. So I'll share that with you. If you are scrambling and wanting to do something right along with me, and you have idea book 2, that was page 41. Okay, so go ahead, jump on in. These are going to be my background sheets, and I know the sketch that I'm working off of, and I know the photos I'm going to use. So I do like to lay things out first with my templates and get a really pretty solid idea of where things are going to go. And then I start doing some trimming and creating my layout. So the foundation of this layout is cedar trails, kind of going across the top. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lay this here. But like I said, I'm going to show you a little trick with this. So this is just to remind me of that look that I want at the top. Okay. I also pulled out scallops, and the one that's on the sketch is 1A and 1B, so that's a pretty tight scallop. Because of the paper trick that I'm going to show you, I'm going to switch to 2A and 2B, so it's a little bit wider scallop. And again, this is just a personal choice thing, right? But that kind of mirrors the cedar trails, and it gives me a better idea of what I'm going to be doing with this particular layout. Okay. And then I also pulled out Paisley Place because I knew I wanted another splash of color. And anybody who knows me is laughing right now because I use Paisley Place like all the time. I own all of the borders, of course, and I do use them all, but I sometimes have to make myself use other things because I'm such a fan of this particular border. So I just love all of the movement on it, even though it's kind of a narrow border. Okay, so that's the basic foundation, and I do like to use the tiny strips when I'm designing. I never thought I would. I always thought, this is silly, it's just a little straight thing. But it reminds me that I want to do something to seal that seam. So I'm going to pull those out. If you don't have the strips, the 12-inch strips. They're literally a 1/2 inch, an inch, 2 inches, and 3 inches. So if you don't have them and you're sad about that, you could make those pretty easily, you guys, with just some strips of white paper if you just like to have them for designing. So, tip of the day. Also, I'm thinking that I probably am going to put a color under here. I'm not positive yet. I'll put that there just to keep me thinking about it. And oddly enough, what I'm going to end up doing, guys, is something that looks, let me get these big ones out of here, they're too big. I'm going to end up doing something that ends up looking like these are upside down. Yes. Or just going the other direction, I guess. It's not upside down. But I'm going to end up having this point coming down, because what I'm going to end up doing is using the scrap from creating this scallop. I'm going to use the opposite side, boop, up here on this layout. I hope that makes sense, and that's why we watch these things, right? So I can actually show you. So the first time I showed that concept in a class, it was a hard one for us to wrap our heads around at first, so I'm happy to share with you guys. That's the basic idea for what I'm going to be doing. I do know that I'm going to use this. So when I first looked at this, the very first template that popped into my mind was the a la carte shine. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to set that off to the side. I think it's going to be good. I think I can do it so that the sun, I can kind of center the middle of the sun inside here. Some of the rays on this are going to get cut off, but I don't know that it's going to be a problem. So that's still going to be my plan up here, maybe. So I'm going to do that for now. And then the other component that I talked about bringing in was the banner. What's it called? Citrus 5. So this is the new one that came in this month's club kit. But I was thinking that maybe I would just do, maybe not the whole thing, but maybe just the 5 pieces that I'm going to need to do either happy or enjoy. And I'll make that decision when we get into this more and I get an idea of what color I want to pull across and what I could do for the background. So, all right, so there's my basic layout. So I know I had a couple that we're going to work for these 4x6s. So that one, and then this one of the whole group. I've got these 4. So I think what I want to do here, just for some balance, I would probably use these 2 because they both have those bright yellow calla lilies in them. Probably going to you know, bounce them across the page in some way or another, just to kind of balance that color. I want to make sure that a 3.5 by 3.5 is going to give me the room I want. My mom is off to the side here, but I still want to include her in this picture, so I think that's going to be okay. So I think we'll plan on that one. And then this one of me, I really just need, yeah, that'll be fine there. And then these 2 have these really beautiful kind of burgundy calla lilies in them. I think I'll put, this one already has 2 folks in it. I think I'm going to put her here. And then the one of the 2 of them up there. This was the palette that I kind of decided to go with. So using that yellow as a background, this kind of paper, I love stuff like this that really pulls in all of the color tones that you want to use. It just really makes the paper, the whole page come together because you've got this like unifying element. So I love that. So I was thinking that this paper, because of that, will be this scallop, and that scrap from when we cut the scallop, and that's going to go up here. So that's going to just carry those colors across the entire page. So that'll probably be my first cut. And then these lemons, oh my gosh, I just can't get over how cute they are. And then they've got these great like little splotches of the turquoise that I wanted to bring in. So I think that these will be fun for this Paisley place border. And what I was thinking is I'll use this turquoise because it's not as busy, but it pulls in the colors from both of these. And that'll be my little strip, okay? So when I start thinking about that, it's like, I think that'll be good. You know, it ties in like to my mom's shirt. My father-in-law's got on some blue, so I just think that's gonna kind of carry that color. And then the dark blue, I really was just thinking would be my photo mats. So those are the papers I'm gonna use for sure. I'm gonna do about a 2-inch strip on here. And I will probably, I usually trace first and then I will cut, but I wanna make sure that I do these evenly because I'm using the scrap after. So yeah, I think I'm actually gonna do 2 1/4, so I have a little bit bigger piece. And get another 2 1/4. Okay, so with those 2 strips, like I'm going to be making the 2 scallops and then the element for the top. If you want to trace on the back, just take your template, don't turn it over, just slip it under your paper and then flip it over, okay? And then you won't get it accidentally turned upside down or backwards. Okay. So by making that 2 1/4 inch strip, like I said, when I cut that, I'm gonna have both of my pieces. Scallops 2A and 2B are exactly the same. The only benefit of having 2 of them, because they're, you know, they don't match up like the other border templates, but having them both makes it a great tool for designing. So I know I saw somebody one day who was a little upset that they were the same, but I'm gonna guess that that's somebody who has not gotten to learn kind of the whole design process yet of laying the templates out. And I didn't do it like that when I started either. I really didn't. I used the templates to cut paper and I just went for it. And now I design almost every layout with my templates first before I start cutting paper. Alrighty, so obviously I'm not cutting exactly on the lines. It's not gonna matter. Remember when you're cutting far back on your scissors, and it really helps if you kind of rotate your paper with your other hand and your scissors. Just kind of helps your stuff come out a little bit smoother. All right, so I created this piece and this piece. So this is what I was talking about. I'm gonna put this one down here. Oh my gosh, I love this paper. Love it. And then this one is gonna go up here. So I can kind of bounce that off at this point, and then this will give me the opportunity to make some decisions on it. I always check before I cut strips to see what's on the other side, just to make sure that I am not really messing up the directionality of a paper that I'm gonna wanna use the other side of later. So this one, it doesn't make any difference at all with this stripe. So I looked, but I'm good. No problem. I'm gonna need 2 1/2-inch strips for the bottom. And then I'm gonna need 2 1-inch strips for the top. I think 1 inch will be about right. I might cover a little bit of it up. We'll see. Okay. Come. All right. So the next piece that I want to work on is with those lemons. All right, so we've got the lemons, and then the back is just a geometric design. So again, I don't have to worry today about the directionality on either side, so that's super. I'm just gonna go ahead and trace these borders. So get these guys cut. When you're using a border like Paisley Place to run side by side like this, there is a spot where they match up. So I do try to watch for that, even though you're cutting them both. I'll show you what I mean. Okay. So here, it makes this kind of awkward little bump. Okay, but if I go this way, my awkward little bump is gone, and it just creates this continuous flow. Now, I use 3-ring albums, so it's probably not as big of a deal as in like a post-bound album, because my pages are never like touching each other. But again, it's just that one of those things. I like the way it looks. Okay. So I'm going to put this here. Oh, I really like how that turned out. I like all those colors together. It just looks super fresh. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get those mats cut now, and then I can get those photos cut down. So this is what I was thinking, is that this could go here, just right at the bottom, and I can play with the position a little bit, but I actually kind of like it touching the photo. So now that that is decided, I do think I want the Enjoy, because there's already a lot of blue on this layout. This Enjoy will pull in this nice color out of the borders and tie into this piece that I want to use up there. I think that's going to be my plan. These banners that they included in the kit are so nice because they're already done. I personally don't own hardly any sticker letters anymore. It's just something that I have kind of gotten away from, and I tend to not use a lot of them anymore. But now that I have this banner, I'm kind of thinking, oh, I wish I had some letters. I might have to break out my Cricut and actually start using it. Or I could just write the letters on, which is more likely what will happen. Now when I go to adhere these, I'll have to decide if I want to pop up the letter or if I'm going to pop up the whole banner. Gosh, I just love these colors. Oh, so pretty. I think there's going to be more call for from people wanting more of this kit than probably any other that has been released. There has been so much love for this kit. I'm going to just leave this where it's at for now, because that gives you guys kind of a good idea of what it's going to look like. But I want to show you Glossy Accents real quick. If you have not seen this, Glossy Accents is just like a liquid. It's a clear liquid, and you basically just like write or draw with it, and it dries clear but raised. So I'm going to do this, I'll just do this E real quick, and then I'll hold it up in the camera and see if you can see it. You kind of create almost a pool of it, you know, kind of be generous, let it bubble. It will dry a little bit raised and a little bit shiny, and it'll just give kind of a cool detail on there. So I'm going to do all of these. It's definitely subtle, but I like that. It's really cute. Say you're doing raindrops on a page or something like that that you want to look wet. It's fantastic for anything like that. So just a fun little product. I've had this bottle for a long time. It doesn't dry up. It doesn't go bad. So those are my favorite kind of products. So I'm just going to let those sit. They'll dry. I'll try to photograph it when I do my finished layout photos so that you can see what it's kind of how it looks when it's dry.